18 years ago, we built this cob house for ourselves. It cost us $1,000 and a lot of work. We used materials that we found on site, collected, harvested materials, and recycled materials. We didn't have much, but we needed a home, and so we built one. Our daughters were born here, and now we've lived here for 18 years. But 7 years ago, the township took issue with its permitting. And now we're tearing it down and leaving. This video is about how it is permaculture to learn from your mistakes and start over.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ontario Permaculture. Today, I wanted to get caught up to date. We've been not doing long format videos for a really long time because we've had a lot going on, and the ground of our life has just been shifting so much that it's really been hard to pin down in something that was going to last like a video does, to say, oh, this is what's happening right now. So some of the short videos you've seen, we talked about, we're going to be leaving our permaculture farm in Ontario. We're trying to coordinate a buy of a new farm in Nova Scotia. We're trying to align the funding for that, which has been a challenge because though our life is wonderful and abundant in many, many ways, barter, exchange, and things like that are really hard to translate financially. Hello, Minnie Moo. I love you. Anyways, so we reached out to everyone to fundraise, and that has been really amazing. Not only has it been really helpful to have the sort of extra money in the bank to do pay for home inspections, pay for conservation authority inquiries, and pay for, you know, all the things that the sundry things that add up in buying a new house and moving in a big way, but just having the support and knowing how many people are rooting for us and how many people are trying to help and make the connections for us has just been so wonderful. I mean, I have sometimes worried, what if I don't make this all work out? Then what do I do with all this generosity? Obviously, any little bit it helps, and it helps cushion whatever pivots that we have to do and things like that. We're really, really hoping for the best outcome here. Ultimately, in knowing that we had to move and looking at the options, we really just reaffirmed that permaculture is our way of life. It may not be easy to permit in this particular location. It may not be a thing for people without extra funds for permitting, but it's definitely something that's very important to us. Keeping animals, living with animals, producing our own food, all of these things are integral to who we are now, to the life that we are choosing, and choosing how we spend our life is now a really, really important value that we have. And it's just really one of the things we find that we can't give that part up, or we wouldn't if we could possibly avoid it. So that is kind of where we're at right now. I have been having a hard time pinning down what a video would be. Lots of people were asking, update us about your court case. Honestly, it is really lengthy, technical, really hard to translate, but the best essence that we can say is that the court decision came back that said yes. Oh, hello, kitty. Said yes, you absolutely have the right to shelter if you have literally no possible any other option and you have no assets. at all. And so having property just basically said, well, you have the money to pay for these permits. Obviously, the permits would go through if your house was decent. And so why don't you just do that? So we looked into that option of why don't you just do that? Maybe we're just being stubborn or something like that, and raising the funding for that. Well, we could do that as well. But we just basically found that being ordered to apply for a building permit here, or to tear down the house, every option of trying to permit it seemed to be blocked. And I can't describe to you the low-key, passive-aggressive bureaucracy that makes it clear that this isn't wanted, it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be what it was meant to be for us, which, I mean, it already has. It was a stopgap. We needed housing, and we made for ourselves. We asked the question, can people who have no money but have need provide for themselves? The answer is absolutely yes. And now, after 20 years of experience, I have complete confidence in that. But after only 7 years of experience dealing with the legal side of it, I am quite confident that it cannot be permitted in a financially reasonable way. It can be permitted by the ultra rich. It's done all the time. However, in terms of making small owner-built homes affordable, we have not found the legal way to pursue that yet. And we are still working on that. But in the meantime, my family needs to be out of uncertainty. And so the idea of moving to a new place rather than dealing with the bureaucracy here really seemed like a better option. The bureaucracy was going to be costly. There was no assurances, and it would drag it out for more years. And after 7 years of dragging it out with this specific group of people, I don't want to. I don't want to. And I don't think it's doable. There was a point at which that's all I wanted, was to make it work. And it was just feeling like I was always up against a wall. And then as soon as I said, well, what if we tear down? Then suddenly doors began to open. People started to be cooperative, and it made it very clear which option was preferred. And I realized today one really big revelation, which is that it is permaculture in practice to start over when you realize that the environment is not right. If you make a mistake in permaculture, you learn your lesson, you adapt what you're doing, and that you don't try and force something on an ecosystem that is not adapted to it. This political climate that we live in this specific place in the world, and the way that we've created a relationship here by our actions and by our reputations and by what we stand for, has created a very arid environment. And what we really need in our life is a fertile environment for creative solutions, people who are in touch with reality and practicality, down to earth, and that sort of thing. So we're looking forward to a change of pace. And although I don't relish the idea of more work to just get to a place of stable living, which we would like to do, and just homestead, just have the work of producing our own food and working hard on, the stuff of life, that frankly, to have the potential of building something new and better with all the benefits of our experience, and starting with a clean slate and a fresh start, is very, very attractive. So basically, I put forward that it's sort of a reframing of, isn't it horrible that you have to tear down your house and move? Yes, it was horrible that we, for years, had to defend our lives. Yes, it is horrible that people cannot live in this particular place legally, easily, affordably, like the Indigenous would and did and prospered in. That is unfortunate. But what is now is that we are looking forward to evolving, to really moving into what we were wanting to do, and doing it with a fresh feeling, a fresh outlook, fresh people to work with, and a fresh environment to work in. So, yeah, I just wanted to give you the update that yes, we have been ordered to apply or tear down, that the application seems not doable. We're looking forward to moving, and if I can just get all the financial um, I's dotted and T's crossed, and I get things, all the stars aligned, then we will be moving on from this particular homestead, but absolutely moving into a greater commitment to and possibility for greater homesteading and permaculture and homeschooling, even more coming up. So yeah, that's the main update. I also wanted to take this opportunity to express my deep gratitude for all of the people who have reached out to say that they wish us well, all of the people who have donated to our GoFundMe, who have given us direct donations, or even just suggested donations, that people who have shared our story, who've put their own little message in to say, hey, these folks are doing this, look in on it, help them if you can. I'm just so grateful for that. We've got letters in the mail, we've got postcards, we've got people we haven't heard from for 20 years sending us messages and reaching out, and it's so heartening. Like, this right now for us it's just so hard, and I can't even express how challenging just the practical realities of moving, plus, tearing down before you have a place to go to, and dealing with bureaucracies of several different bureaucratic agencies simultaneously. It's so overwhelming, and the thing that is holding me together and keeping me going is just knowing that we have so much support. I am so grateful to all of you that have wished us well and helped us get to the next step. So that's just what I wanted to check in with today, and thanks very much for watching. I hope you like cute kitties. So.
Oh, hi. What should I say? I don't know what to say. Well, I mean, I guess, thanks. Thanks for helping us. Is that good? Okay, alright.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ontario Okay, go walk.